Sunday fun day. Let's start it off with some strikeouts. Let's go. Hey everybody, it's Craig Ben, aka Cash Keg, back on a Sunday fun day strikeout video. Got four guys. We're going to talk about strikeouts. Not a lot of huge leans on these. I'm going to play them pretty sparingly just to let you know. I'm not going to put a ton on these. But there's four spots I think we can take advantage of, and we'll talk about them. So maybe you want to dig a little bit deeper on them, but I'll give you my analysis on four guys that I think have the ability to hit their strikeout props here. I think we have two unders and two overs, and we'll talk about each and every one of them. Again, if you like these strikeout videos, just let me know in the comments. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and let's just dive right into this and talk about a few plays. Let's go. All right, Prizepicks desktop version up here. We're going strikeouts on Sunday Fun Day, Mother's Day, and we're going to talk about four guys that we do like here. And I'm going to give you my analysis on each one. Again, we got a lot of double headers this game. But first one we're going to go to is we're going to go to Tyler Mahle, and we're going to go over 5 strikeouts for him. Going up against the Pittsburgh Pirates, which I don't know if you want to call them an MLB team this year. They are pretty horrendous. They are top 10 in strikeouts against right-handed pitching, 8th in the MLB, striking out a 25% clip. They get a really bad 91 WRC plus. And Mahle's, about average swinging strike rate around 11%. And his pitch count is creeping up from when he started. So 81, 73, and then the last 3 games, 88, 89, 92. I love he's throwing a lot of strikes. And he hasn't went over this clip this year yet, but he's pitched against some pretty damn good offenses. Looking at Cleveland, the Dodgers, St. Louis, San Diego, Milwaukee. So I'm going to give him a break pitching against those guys. 22% K rate though for Mahle here. 15% against lefties, 28% against righties. Now, he's going to see a ton of lefties in this lineup, but they have struggled against right-handed pitching. Even though you're going to see a bunch of lefties and he's better against righties. Vogelbach, just this year alone, if we just look at this year's stats, 30% K rate against righties. Van Meter, 31%. Tucker, 38%. Reynolds 30%. So he's got 4 really high strikeout guys in this lineup. I think he can definitely get there. Last year they weren't as bad. Pittsburgh was 23rd in strikeouts against righties, so they were not as bad. And he had their number last year, even that they weren't a worse strikeout team against righties. In the 5 games he pitched against them last year, he went over this mark in 4 of the 5 games, 7, 10, 4, 6, and 6 strikeouts. So the juice is on the over as well. The juice is at minus 146 on the over, and that's at 5.5 strikeouts. And we're getting it at 5 here, which I really love because he's hit this number even against the Dodgers and San Diego. He hit 5, so I really love the 5 mark we can get here. If it goes to 5.5, I'm okay with it, but I prefer it at the 5. Like I said, at least you can push if he gets to that point. I think he does in this lineup. Like I said, there's 4 really high strikeout guys in this lineup that he should be able to handle, and I think he can get up to low 90s, mid 90s pitches. And yeah, he should be able to handle them. Vogelbach, he's faced him 5 times, struck him out twice. There's just some spots here that he can do really well in. Which I think he can get to pretty well. So really like this over. 5, again, the juice is on the over. The stats are all lining up pretty well for him. So we're going to take the over on Tyler Mahle. The next one we're going to look at here, we're going to go on an under. And we're going to go to, where's he at? We're going to go to trade Lyles. There's so many games today. And we're going to go to Lyles under 4.5. There he is. Jordan Lyles under 4.5 strikeouts. And going up against KC. The juice is on the under here at minus 152. Now he's went over this mark in 2 of the 5 games he's pitched this year. But KC is a tough team to strike out against righties. They're ranked 26 in Major League Baseball, and Ks against righties at a 20% clip. Jordan Lyles is bottom third in swinging strike rate at 9.6%. Not a huge strikeout pitcher by any means. Throws a lot of pitches though. Throws a lot of strikes. But again, going up against this KC lineup, there's really only, if we just look at this season's stats, there's really only two guys that strike out a ton in this lineup. And that's Perez and Dozier. Perez strikes out 30% clip, Dozier 28% clip. And for the season, Lyles has been a 17% strikeout pitcher, 11% against lefties, and 22% against righties. And if you look up and down the lineup here, Oliveira's only 9% K rate, Benintendi 11% this year. Merrifield hardly ever strikes out, 15%. Lopez 13%, Isbell 17%. The rookie Witt, he's a rookie, 21%, so it's a little high, but there's not a ton right here. And I think, anytime you're getting KC and you're getting a guy like this, I think we can take the under here. Pitched twice last year against KC. They were about the same. They ranked 27th in strikeouts against righties, about 21% clip. And he went 1-1 against them. 8 strikeouts one time and only 4 the next. So I'm going to lean the under on this one, just with looking at the lineups, looking at all the stats and everything. I think we can take the under on this one. Like I said, he's only went over this clip twice. He went Oakland, which is a horrendous team. But like Tampa Bay only put up 2, Yankees only put up 4 strikeouts, Yankees 3 strikeouts. They put up 6 against Boston last time out, but we're going to take the under on this one. The next one we're going to look at is we're going to take an over. Now this one makes me a little nervous, but, because I don't know what Gerrit Cole we're going to get, right? And that's the only concern with this one. But I'm going to talk about it because this is a whole line lower than it's out there. Now, this line is at 7.5 at most books that are out there, and it's juiced over at -136. So now he's only went over this clip once over the 5 games this season. So he 9 strikeouts against Cleveland. Did put up 6 against KC, 6 against Toronto, but only 3 against Boston and 3 against Detroit. Texas doesn't strike out a ton against righties. 22% clip. But I'm sorry, 22nd in the MLB at a 21% clip. But Gerrit Cole still has a really high swinging strike rate of 14%. And the pitch count's kind of been all over the place in a couple of those games that he got shelled, but 92, 91 over the last 2 games, and he's still throwing strikes, 34% and 30% in both those games. They put 9 and 6 strikeouts out here. Now, if we look at it, Texas pitched against them last year, put up 7 strikeouts. I wouldn't go any over this. If it hits to 7, I wouldn't touch it. I guess if it hits 7, I'd be okay with it because you're just going to push, and it's really the same thing as 6.5. But I wouldn't go up to 7.5 with it because there is concern here with this. But hey, if we look at this lineup a little bit with Cole, there is some strikeouts to be had. Garver 25% against righties. Calhoun's 28% against righties. Garcia's 23%, and he's still striking guys out this year. 27% strikeout rate this year. 26% against lefties. 27% against righties. Now we can all remember, if we go back last year, once they started cracking down on the pine tar, he kind of fell apart, but he kind of come back the last 2 games. I don't know. That's the one thing that gives me cause about him. If we look at last year and this year, 34% K rate, 38% against lefties, 30% against righties, just absolutely elite. This year those numbers are down, but there is some Ks, like I said, to be had in this lineup, up and down it. So if you don't want to take this one, I understand, because you really don't know what you're going to get with him. But if we're going to get, this kind of value, looking at the books that are out there and what people are hitting, I might take a chance on him in a few of these. So we'll take Gerrit Cole over 6.5 strikeouts. The next one, we're going to talk about the last one. We're going to go over to the Angels, and we're going to go Sandoval under 5.5 strikeouts here. Now, he is going up against Washington, Washington is ranked 29th in strikeouts against left-handed pitching at only a 21% clip. Sandoval does have a decent swinging strike rate, 12%. If we go and look at this lineup that he's going to be facing, not a ton of strikeouts to be had. So he's 25% K rate this year. I'm sorry, this and last year, 27% against lefties, 24% against righties. But if we look at this lineup, with this and last year, there's really only two really big strikeout guys in it. Robles at 24% and Hernandez at 26%. We got a lot of other guys in here. Hernandez only 18%, Soto 17%, Bell 12%, Franco 19%, Ruiz 6%, Escobar 19%. So there's a lot of low strikeout guys compared to in this lineup. So only two guys to really worry about. If we kind of look at the juices on the under as well at -144, pitched 4 times this year so far, did strike out 6 guys in Miami, 5 at Houston, 9 against Cleveland, and only 2 against the White Sox. But like I said, Washington this year just doesn't strike out that much against left-handed bats. And so, if we just look at their numbers this year only, they have only one guy in this entire lineup that's over 20% K rate this entire year, and that's the guy in the 9-hole at Escobar. Everyone else is at less than 20% K rate up and down this whole lineup. So because of that, looking at the numbers a little bit, we're going to take the under here. Now, he hasn't faced the majority of this team. Going back and looking at his BVP, and he hasn't faced a lot of this team. So, and again, his pitch rate hasn't been super high this year in those 4 games. It's got ramped up each time, though. 71, 85, 90, and 96. Pitching 4, 4, 7, and 6 innings. So his pitch count's starting to ramp up here a little bit. But like I said, this lineup, the way the juice is on the under on this at -144, I think we can take a shot at the under here. So so if we got these, I'm going to rank Tyler Mahle definitely number 1 and over 5 strikeouts. I'm going to go Jordan Lyles number 2 at under 4.5 strikeouts. Then I'm going to go Sandoval under 5.5 strikeouts as number 3. And then I'm going to put Gerrit Cole at number 4 at over 6.5 strikeouts, just because I don't trust him a ton, but the numbers kind of line up for him. It's just one that, man, he is so hard to trust here. So if you don't want to take that one, I completely understand. But I want to give you some numbers behind it. And if we're getting a whole strikeout lower than what's out there on the books, and people are still hitting the over here. And now I don't know if they're hitting it over because of name recognition of what he used to do, but kind of wanted to throw that in there. So again, enjoy your Sunday fun day. Take care of your moms out there, and I'll see you guys on the flip side. Deuces.